mateys, Captain Gully of the Happy Pirates here, and you are watching another episode of Arts and Crafts, or Crafting with the Captain. Gully and I have a really wonderful treasure for you guys to make today, and it happens to be treasure. So you might have seen another video where we talked about making treasure chests. Today, we're going to make the stuff that goes inside the treasure chests. We are going to be making gold doubloons, gold coins, treasure that can go inside of your treasure chest. All right, so we're going to take a look at a couple different ways to do this. One that's using cardboard and scissors and paint and glitter glue, and one that's using something called salt dough, which is a form of modeling clay. So let's take a look at what happens to be inside my treasure chest. So this is a treasure chest I made with a previous episode. And inside of here, I've got cardboard doubloons. These are really fun to make and actually really easy to make. So what we need for this is a bunch of round cutout pieces of cardboard. And you can use any size that you want. This one happens to be the size of one of my cookie cutters. And you're probably going to need parent helpers for this because you're going to need to use scissors to cut these out. You can make some small ones and some big ones. And they're going to, when done, they can look like this, where it's just painted with gold paint. Or you can put some designs on it. Like I've got a star on this one, a smiley face on this one, and just a X with some dots on this one. So let's see how we can do that. So we're going to start with some round pieces of cardboard. And to figure out what design you want, I'm just going to use a pencil and start drawing on here. So you can draw X marks the spot, like that. You can draw some swirlies, like that. Or you can actually try and draw a pirate face, which that wasn't a very good one, but this one might look a little familiar. So once you've got your design drawn, you're going to want to find something called glitter glue. All right. Now I happen to have some gold glitter glue that I borrowed from Scuttle because he likes to do crafting as well. And the glitter glue is what's going to give it that raised look. So now that we have our design drawn on, with the glitter glue, whether you use gold or blue or any color that you want, I'm going to use this kind of like a marker, and I'm just going to draw over my design. So I'm going to glitter glue my little X marks the spot on this one, and some dots. And these don't have to be perfect. The gold coins that pirates were always going after were very often stamped by hand and were sometimes handcrafted. So every coin looked a little bit different. So there we go, a little swirly, kind of like a whirlpool. Then, the hard part, waiting for it to dry. This has to dry entirely so that you've got a hard surface that you can then paint over with some gold paint. So I've got some that I made previous, and I just have some gold paint here. And I'm just going to brush right over these. And wherever there's glitter glue, it's going to be a little bit raised up. Just like if you take a look at a coin today, whether you're looking at the heads or the tails, there's usually a raised area where the head is or whatever the design is. This one's got an M on it. And here's my swirly. Since we're going to be using paint, make sure you're not wearing your best pirate uniform. If you got paint on your best pirate uniform, your captain might not be too happy with you. So we can set these aside to dry, and those are my cardboard doubloons. Now the other ones end up looking like this. These are made from something called salt dough, which I'm going to post the recipe down below the video. But with your Pirate Parent Helper, you can create salt dough with flour, salt, and water. And that creates dough, which looks a lot like either cookie dough or modeling clay. So what we're going to do for this is I'm just going to grab a chunk of dough, kind of ball it up in my hand and roll it around. And for this, you're going to want to cover the surface of your deck with something like paper or wax paper. All right, and then squish this down to make it round, like that. And your coins can be as thick as you want them to be. You'll notice one of mine is pretty thick, and one of them's kind of thin. So once you've got your coin shape, then if you want to do your own design, I'm just going to take a pencil and push a design into it. So instead of painting a raised design with the glitter glue, I'm going to push a design into it with a pencil or a crafting stick, and it'll look like that when you're done. So that's one way you can do it, and then you have to set that aside to dry. Another thing you can do, if you happen to have stampers, which I know a lot of pirates have, these work really, really well to create things that look like this smiley face is actually this stamper. And I also created this paw print from this stamper. So you grab your stamper, and I've got my dough ball. I'm just going to push this down right on top of it. It squishes it down, and there's our design. So there's my smiley face coin. Grab another one. I'm going to make my paw print coin. Just like that. All right. And another thing you can do, which your parents might have in the kitchen, especially if they do baking, this is called a cookie press. And it's very similar to what we were just doing with a stamper. This is actually designed to make cookies with designs in them. So again, we're going to start with my ball of dough. And I happen to have one with a jack-o'-lantern on it and one with hearts. And I'm just going to take this and squish it right over my dough ball. And then there's my jack-o'-lantern design. All right. Now, you can either leave it rough edged like this, which actually gold doubloons, they were hand stamped back in the day when these were created. And if you ever take a look at a picture of real gold doubloons, you'll see the stamp on it and a rough edge, and sometimes the stamp is off to the side, and sometimes it's not centered. So you can leave it like that, or if you happen to have a round cookie cutter, you can use the cookie cutter and get a nice round edge on it. And you can do that with any of your designs, whether you use the stamper or hand-drawn, and you can get really, really cool looking designs like this. All right. And this salt dough, once you're done with the design, you've got to let it dry for an entire day. Then you're going to need your Pirate Parent Helper, because we have to bake it. And again, I'll put that in the recipe down below. Once it's all cooled, then you can get your gold paint or silver paint, because there are silver coins as well. And then you can paint right onto it. So there's our paw print. And this is one I made yesterday with, I actually took an extra piece of dough and rolled it up into some lines and some dots. So I use my paintbrush to get it all in there. And there we go. We've got some gold doubloons made from cardboard, made from salt dough. And now you guys have stuff to fill up your treasure chest with. All right? And of course you can always fill it with candy and cookies and plastic gems. But now you guys have gold doubloons to fill up your treasure chest with. We would love to see what you create. So find us on Facebook or Instagram. Go to thehappypirates.com. Take pictures of the gold doubloons that you create and post them so we can see them and we'll comment on them. We would love to see what you create. All right? So that's what we've got for today, gold doubloons. You can go back and watch this video again and pause it and get to that point in the craft and then keep going. And stay tuned for other fun episodes of Arts and Crafts. I'm Captain Gully. Arr!